Please rise for the presentation of colors by the Fairfax County Department of Public Safety Communications Honor Guard. Singing our national anthem tonight will be Sherry White.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please welcome E9-1-1 Institute Executive Director, Greg Rohde.
Thank you very much. I can't believe I'm in this room. About 7 years ago, a few of us got together and we thought that the launching of the Congressional E9 Caucus was significant enough that we thought we should hold a little reception. So we held this little reception over at the Reserve Officers Club. We had about 50 people show up. We decided to fly in a few people from around the country who are public safety officials, mostly members of NENA, and said, why don't we fly some people in and maybe they can walk around Capitol Hill and try to push this new legislation that the Congressional Economic Caucus had put together. Now in 2010, we are literally bursting out of the seams here tonight. We have 550 strong, probably a little bit more if the fire marshals, that. 9-1-1 goes to Washington, has well over 230 plus people. I think, Brian, I think it's close to the head count there. And we're now talking about 9-1-1 legislation about how we build and what we've done before. I never thought, and Congresswoman Eshoo was here 7 years ago, and Congresswoman, I never thought I would be here at this day doing the same thing that we are and talking about building about all your successes. And so I want to begin by just saying to everybody here, absolutely congratulations. Congratulations for all the wonderful things you do, and especially for those of you in the public safety communications field. You really need to be complimented for taking the time to come here and do this. And I can just tell you, you definitely have arrived here in Washington at the federal level. So congratulations on all of that. We're very pleased. The purpose of the gala is to get together and to try to tell the stories about 911. And it's really hard to pick the standouts among giants, but we have certainly tried to do that. We have some amazing people and organizations tonight that we want to honor. And the reason for that is we want the world to know and the nation to know that this is what happens when 911 works well. And this is what happens with people who dedicate themselves for leadership and to try to make our community safer. And so that's what the purpose of tonight is. And so, and we're also very pleased to be celebrating the 7th anniversary of the Congressional E9-1 Caucus. And so the caucus has gone from starting from 4 members and is well over 70 plus and growing every day. And I'm sure this week it'll grow even more after you all go make your visits. The other thing that's happened is this began as an E9-1 Institute event, and Nina began flying people in and having 911 Goes to Washington. And we've now combined this event, and for the first time, we now have 5 national organizations that are partnering to bring 911 Goes to Washington in this event. And I want to introduce representatives of each one of these organizations for what is truly an historic milestone in public safety communications. I'd like to introduce from Nina, the current president of Nina, Craig Whittington. The president of APCO, Dick Murgon. Representing NASNA, Harriet Miller Brown. The executive director of the 911 Industry Alliance, Paul Fahey. And the chairman of the board of the E9 Institute is Michael Amorosa.
Good evening. On behalf of Nina and our 7,000 plus members, thank you for attending this and supporting not only the 911 Goes to Washington event, but also the gala tonight. I've been very blessed. I've been able to attend all 7 of these, and as Greg said, and I can't begin to speak as eloquently as he does, but as Greg said, I remember that first night. I remember the first night in the Reserve Officers Corps, the first gala we had, the reception. I can't help but forget, and one of the things that honors me tonight is when we got ready to leave, I had the opportunity to get on the elevator with a lady that I'd never met, and immediately she spoke to me, and it dawned on me that this was the class lady. And coming from the South, I pride myself on recognizing what a true lady is. And so tonight we have a little something for someone who's supported 911, who's supported the Institute, who's supported Nina, who's supported APCO, NASNA, who's been on the side of doing what's right for public safety communications. And it is my deepest honor to present this to from a Carolina guy to a California woman, Miss Anna, Representative Anna Esue.
Well, good evening, everyone. How are you? Yeah, this is great. This is a wonderful, wonderful celebration. Thank you very, very much for those beautiful words. I always wish my children were here when something like that is done for me, but believe me, I'll brag when I get home and talk to them and see them. It's really an honor to be here with all of you. This is an incredible celebration, and the turnout is really an eloquent statement about how this issue and your work has grown in the Congress, taken its place there through the E9-1 caucus, and that caucus continues to grow in recognizing the absolute necessity of this community. So I want to salute all of you and thank you. And Greg, thank you for what you have built. And to all of the organizations that are part of this, all 5 organizations. 7 years ago, as was said just a few moments ago, I joined with a wonderful member of the House, a Republican, John Shimkus. And I know that John is going to be here sometime this evening to form the House caucus, the E9-1-1 caucus, and at the same time with then Senator Hillary Clinton and Senator Conrad Burns, who were the E9-1-1 caucus chairs in the Senate. We did that to ensure that our first responders had the tools that are necessary for receiving and responding to calls for help across our country. Representative Shimkus and I are still here, and we have 2 new co-chairs in the Senate. And I'm thrilled that Senator Klobuchar and Senator Burr are the newest co-chairs in the Senate and our public safety partners, and I think that you're going to hear from them this evening as well. We welcome them to the work because there's lots of work to do. Now, this partnership led, as you know, to the introduction last week of the Next Generation 911 Preservation Act of 2010. I think many people here know the number of the House bill. You want to say it with me? H.R. 4829. Are you asking members to sign on? Great, okay. We coordinated, of course, on a bicameral and a bipartisan basis, and we introduced identical legislation in the House and the Senate. We're going to work together as we have before, as partners standing shoulder to shoulder in this absolutely essential effort to move toward the reauthorization of the Coordination Office and the grant program. Now, 7 years is a long time in the technological field, which is why we moved from enhanced 911 to next generation 911. I recognize that some communities still need basic level help and infrastructure to answer 911 calls, whether from landline phones or computers or wireless devices. But we're ready to infuse our call centers with the next generation of devices and provide the essential upgrades in technology. So we still have plenty of hard work to do, and we're ready to do it. We know that all of you are assisting us in this process, and I can't thank you enough, those of you that have come from all different parts of the country to go to the Hill, to advocate and to lobby, and to ask members to sign on to this legislation. There are a lot of people, the American people are counting on us to get this done. So I appreciate your work, I appreciate the efforts that you're involved in, and I look forward to teaming with this public safety community to move the legislation ahead. The call centers that you operate are the first line of defense and often the first place for help for those that are in distress. Your work saves lives. I want to say that again. Your work saves lives, and I'm proud to work with you to help accomplish your mission. So thank you, everyone, and God bless you. I'm going to start out. Thank you. Thank you. I'm here to thank you. The first award, and I think on the program it really says it all, celebrating heroism, leadership, and of course this 7th anniversary. And this is one of the heroes. This hero is receiving the 911 Technician Award. And his name is Craig Schultz, and he's from Raleigh, North Carolina. Craig Schultz is a 15-year employee of the Raleigh-Wake Emergency Communications Center in North Carolina. He brings years of experience as a dispatcher and former rescue squad member to his current role. This is for Craig, all right? And I think you should hear what he's done, and I know you want to hear it. He's a former rescue squad member to his current role as a technical services supervisor. His own description of his job is the following: I'm responsible for anything that has a power cord on it. In addition to managing North Carolina's second busiest PSAP, Craig supports the mobile data terminals throughout Wake County. He also manages the City of Raleigh Communications and Electronic Maintenance Shop, and he took responsibility for the Raleigh Police Department's radio conversion process. And then on top of all of this, Craig implemented the traffic camera monitoring system for the 911 call center, and he developed an online traffic information system that reduced non-emergency calls by 10%. I can't imagine that Craig has a spare moment in his life, given all that he's done. He's being honored for his tireless dedication and initiative to utilize technology to not only make it possible for his PSAP to operate, but to operate more efficiently and more effectively. Craig is one of the many invisible heroes of 911. He toils away out of the spotlight, but is ensuring the 911 lifeline works. The 911 Technician Award is presented each year to pay tribute to extraordinary technicians like Craig, as well as to remind everyone how important the geeks are for 911. So please welcome Craig Schultz with your applause, and also